friends, friends from the internet, friends from the world. Hello, welcome. You guys in this beautiful day in the Virginia forest, welcome. We're gonna give ourselves some time and freedom and leisure and have a date with our mind. And so we begin with taking refuge and generating the enlightened mind attitude. Until I have reached full awakening, take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By means of beneficial actions such as generosity, may I attain enlightenment in order to benefit beings. Until I have reached full awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By means of beneficial actions such as generosity, may I attain enlightenment in order to benefit beings. Until I have reached full awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By means of beneficial actions such as generosity, may I attain enlightenment in order to benefit beings. May all beings find happiness in the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering in the cause of suffering. May they not be separated from the perfect happiness that is free from suffering. May they abide in great equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. May all beings find happiness in the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering in the cause of suffering. May they not be separated from the perfect happiness that is free from suffering. May they abide in great equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. May all beings find happiness in the cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering in the cause of suffering. May they not be separated from the perfect happiness that is free from suffering. May they abide in great equanimity, free from attachment and aversion to those near and far. Let's give ourselves a little moment so that we're sure we're here, that our body, our mind is in the here and in the now, and whatever we might have done in the past, before we arrived here, we let it go. Whatever we might have to do after this moment, we leave it on hold so that we're fully present to this situation. To begin with, let's pay attention to our posture. The way we sit has a direct influence on the state of our mind, therefore is important. First, we notice the contact with the earth and the stability we gain to this contact, whether we sit on a chair or directly on the ground. Our hands can be resting palm down flat on our thigh, or in the meditation posture, that would be the right hand in the left, both resting in the lap. Our shoulders are slightly outstretched. Our chin slightly tucked in. Our back is straight, but without any tension. And as we sit with our back straight, we may notice certain resistance or tension in the abdomen. And as we breathe in and out, we just relax it and let it drop until we feel the center of gravity of our posture, which is slightly below the neck. Now we're sitting properly. Our mouth is relaxed and the tongue is lightly touching the palate. Our gaze is directed straight ahead, eyes half closed, in a soft and open vision of what is directly in front of us. At times, if we feel that it is more comfortable, we can also keep our eyes closed. Now we pay attention to our breath and we notice the movement of our breath that comes in and goes out in a very natural way. We don't need to change this. We use the breath as a reference point towards which we come back when we notice we're distracted, either by outer sense perceptions or by inner feelings. We're riding a roller coaster of thoughts, one leading another. But we don't have to suppress them violently. We don't have to ride that train endlessly either. So if we want to disengage, we come back to the breath. And we just follow the movement of the breath as it comes in and out of our body until we find a presence and attentiveness, peace, clarity, where we simply abide. And as we meditate outside, we have a lot of sense perceptions coming to us, sounds and tactile contacts with the breeze, the heat, the different fragrances of the nature. We don't have to block them, but we don't have to endlessly ride on them. Play. Think of it in this way. Your mind is like space. And all the thoughts and all the sense perceptions are like a bird that's flying by. As soon as it enters your field of vision, it is gone. You don't have to resist. You don't have to entertain. Somewhat you could say, let it be and sort of like blow through you without disturbing your attentive, spacious presence. Feel free to stretch or move a bit if you need. As the Earth is moving, the sun brings light to different spots, so please make sure you're not in the full sun, and unless you really like it. But move your chair, pick up another chair, and stay in the shade. Or you can join us, come and sit here, wherever you want. When we want to practice transformation of mind training in general, there's some prerequisite conditions that we really need to establish so that they will not pollute or they will not interfere in the proper training. And one of them is lingering resentment and grudge that are poison. And we should really try to make sure we're not cultivating this. Sometimes it's cultural. Some culture, they said you have to remember the people that did wrong to you, a kind of protection, so that you remember these people are bad. You have to be careful because it leads to my grandfather. We have many stories in France, Corsican, like the Sicilian. They remember forever the wrong. They don't even remember how it happened 20 generations ago, but they still hate each other. Or Romeo and Juliet's family, cultivating this resentment. And for ages, we carry this burden, and actually, everybody has forgotten, moved on. You're the only one carrying that cross, carrying this memory. I've been wronged. I've been wronged. And it's always based on this sense of self-righteousness. I deserve better than that. I shouldn't be treated this way. This kind of thing. And really, everybody has forgotten. You're the only one lingering in that feeling. And you're the only one suffering from it, really. Now and then, of course, your mind that has been poisoned by this resentment will spit some venom and strike back, do us things that are actually not helpful. And so most of the time it's festering in your own mind. You're the first casualty. So do not hold grudge. Do not nourish resentment. It's a very important prerequisite. Because otherwise our mind is like, even if we want to be like generous, and so like, oh no, I can't do that. Or we want to be loving, extending, a friendly hand. No, I can't do that. He or she did this to me, and so on. So we see them as enemy. Most of the time, it's only our, imagination that will project, a confused mind project resentment on people. I see that every day, like in myself first, but also me. It's like, it's so amazing to look at other people's fantasy and projection. It's just like, that's ridiculous. It's so hard to look at your own. Theirs is obvious. Ours is justified. That's the problem. But if we really look at it, it's just like nothing good comes. These people have changed. There's something else, or they haven't changed. I'm sorry for them. Maybe I misunderstood. Maybe we're not on the same page. Maybe they were in pain, and that's how and why they reacted in such a way. I think it's always important to remember that most of the people are just minding their own business. They don't care about you. And so if they hurt you, it's because they're in pain. Don't take it personal. They're just throwing out their garbage. But we sort of keep their baggage, their garbage, and it's like, hey, see what you did? Keep this in your house. What's the point? But still, it's really hard to get rid of this, you know. So my training will say, okay, you know, you can recycle your own garbage. You can make out of poison treasure, manure, something new of some sort. And if you're really good at this, you can take other people's bags of garbage. You know, we've had some discussions about trash in the forest with our dear friend David. Well, I wonder who did throw this bag of trash in the forest on the way. And then every time he sees us, Wendelin is like, yeah, I wonder who did it. And when this is just like, let it go, you know. Okay, there is a bag, a plastic bag that somewhat find its way on the side of the road in the forest. Okay, manure occurs, and Wendell says, "I'm not going to go in the forest until December because of the ticks. So this will be taken care of. We can't do that now." He comes back on it again and again and again. Every time he drives in and out of the property, the only thing he sees first is this damn bag in the forest. You know? And when this is just like, let it go. We'll take care of that, you know, when the ticks are sleeping. So for me, it's, you know, I'm not just pointing out fingers. It's just like, I got so much of my own, and I, you know, I don't like to expose myself too much. So I'm not going to share my problem. I'm going to share somebody else's problem, right? But this is what we do all the time, you know. And instead of coming, you know, like, oh, a galloping path and thinking about horses and freedom and beautiful forests and so on, that bag, you know, and who did it? And as you care, the problem is there's the bag. You know, it needs to be treated. We can't do it now. We'll do it later. Period. End of the story. But we hold on that grudge, and this kills our loving kindness. This kills our compassion. This kills, you know, the beauty of our, you know, innermost wealth for no good reason at all. Why do we hold on that? Self-righteousness. Man, what a poison. I am. I am good. I am better. You wronged me, therefore you're bad. I have to let you know in a direct way, or even worse than that, the famous passive aggressive. Never mind. Never mind. Which is like loaded with poison. You know? And we are the first casualty. You know, like a drill sergeant in the Marines who's training a recruit, and he tells him, "Where you're in the battlefield and you're about to shoot, you know, what is the first casualty?" And Marine says, "Like the enemy." "No, your shoulder." Bang! That's the first casualty. That's your shoulder. That's where it hurts first. Same with resentment and grudge. You take a full, you keep the whip, you get the full pain, the punch in your mind, and that prevents you from like practicing standing and taking. Like, how can you, when you're full of grudge, how can you stand and take? It's not possible. You know, embracing the suffering of beings, understanding and giving them love, not possible. Or you select, you know, I take and give only to the right nice dudes, friends. But friends is kind of a very, very volatile entity. You're friend today, and tomorrow they're not, for any reasons. Because your self-righteousness has been scratched. And then you hate them. And you hate them more than the enemies, because they know all your dear secrets, because they used to be your friends. So you have to defend yourself from them because they have your password. So it's such an unnecessary burden. And I know, but maybe our culture says like, remember who did you wrong and be grateful to those who did good to you and so on. Certain contexts, maybe it makes sense. I mean, of course, we shouldn't be naive in this world and just go like, and get punched again. Like, you fool me once, it's on you. You fool me twice, it's on me. And so for sure, we should be mindful, but we don't have to hold this weight of grudge and resentment. And certain things have changed. People are different. We're in a different configuration. Our relationship has I've evolved, you've changed. Let's try it again. Let's give it a fair chance. It's a different world. It's a different world. Okay, that's all I have to say today. Let's go back to our meditation and let whatever grudge, resentment we have expand the limit of space and vanish. To conclude, let's dedicate the merit, the qualities of this practice to the benefit of all beings. Through this merit, may I attain true omniscience, then having overcome all destructive forces, may I liberate sentient beings from the ocean of existence, from the turbulent waves of old age, sickness, and death. May the most precious mind of awakening that has not yet known how by once it never decline, may it continue to increase evermore. Thank you all very much. Your friends on the internet. Next weekend, it's the last weekend, last Sunday of the month, so we'll have the Dharma Roadside Dialogue, and so you can join us. Find the link on the website of Bodhi Path or on my own website. It's only tsolny.com, and Sunday also another session of Dharma Roadside Dialogue. So there will be no live stream meditation next weekend. So see you beyond that. Take care, be well. Bye.